Hi everyone, Red Reefer here. Today I'm going to tell you about my switch back from ATI Essentials to regular generic salts. The reason I'm going to switch back to regular salts, normal salts, is that over the past few months, while using ATI Essentials, I noticed that my water parameters kept going up and down quite a bit. So it was hard for me to keep my alkalinity, my calcium, my magnesium in check. And yeah, this up to a point where I've decided to stop using the ATI Essentials. So I'm not saying it's a bad product, because I definitely enjoyed using it, and I think the tank is looking good, so no issues on that end. But overall, I felt like before I started using Essentials, the balance in my tank was better, so that's why I'm switching back. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what that looks like. As I showed you in a previous video, these are the ATI Essentials. That's number 1, that's number 2, and that's number 3. And to replace them with regular salts, I'm using a generic salts which I'm buying from a local website, Reef Center. And they're food grade salts, so they're not specifically made for the aquarium business, but they work just fine. So as you can see, these different salts, they're equivalent to the 1, 2, and 3 essentials from ATI. So on the left here, you have the stuff that boosts your alkalinity. And these salts do exactly the same. As you can see, the powder, here's also powder in the can, and this is also same structure, same stuff. This is the calcium chloride, which is essentially the same as bottle number 2, only it's already mixed in water down here. And this one is magnesium and the mineral salts. So for magnesium, with the ATI Essentials, it's an all-in-one solution. If I'm adding it myself, I'm using a mix of magnesium chloride and magnesium sulfate, because I can, and it's a common practice to do that. Also using mineral salts to keep the good balance in salinity of the water, and that's also one of the reasons why there's no need to do water changes, at least not regular water changes. So this method, by using these salts, is called the Balling Classic method. And to make some additions to that, there's also three bottles of stuff that I'm adding to it. It's only, you need a cap full of each of them. This one uses kalium, iodine, and fluoride. Here's strontium and barium. Boron, I think, is the English word. And there's some heavy metals as well. So in the end, what I don't need anymore are these ATI Essentials, which I'm going to put aside. So these I'll stop using, and instead I'll use these salts right here. So like I mentioned before, using these salts is called the Balling Classic method. It's invented by, I think it was a German man, Hans Balling, who figured out what were the ideal water parameters and how to keep them in check. So he came up with this system. Like I mentioned before, I have been using it for quite a few years. A lot of methods are based on the Balling Classic method. Even the ATI Essentials method is based on the Balling Classic method. So yeah, I hope that this change will do good to my tank. As you might have seen before, you can also hear by the way, you can hear the tank chiller right here, because it's quite hot today. So that's why it's on. Like you may have seen before, I'm using a dosing pump with 3 5-liter canisters. The first one down here, the second one and the third one is behind. And I'm also dosing Red Sea's NO3PO4X to reduce the nitrates and phosphates. So yeah, these are going to be replaced today. So I hope that this will cause my water parameters to remain a little more stable. Of course, I'll need to closely monitor it for the next couple of weeks to make sure that I'm using the right amount of milliliters each day. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. And yeah, like I said, I've been using it before. I had used it before. I've used it before, so I'm fairly confident that it will work out in the end, and that my tank will at least not suffer from it. And I hope it will, yeah, it will become even more stable, because that will definitely help with the coral growth and overall health of the tank. So yeah, that's really it for today. So short video this time. I'll give you a quick overview of the tank, and then we'll end this episode. So have a nice weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.